going on YouTube, and what up to the Dragon Squad? I am Ember, the Blaze,
and I'm Glacier, the Iceborn,
and we are ReactionDragonz, coming to you from the Dragon's Lair. And a quick reminder, guys, if you like the vibe, like and subscribe.
Doesn't cost a dime and helps us go full time.
Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
Thanks so much for the support, guys, and what's on the menu for today, Glacier?
We're back at you some more Dark, Season 2, Episode 3, Ghosts.
And yes, very exciting times we're in right now. So I guess with this intro, I guess there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about that I noticed when I was going back and editing Episode 1. That's the great thing about the show, when you go back and edit, you start to pick up on new things, which is great. So a couple things. So first thing, like when Adam's talking to Noah in like what I would call like the study room, and he says, he's like talking about how like Bartosz is naive and does he know yet?
Yeah.
And then he also says something about you have to find the missing pages of his book. And we know that Noah has that book. We kind of see it at the beginning of the first episode once you realize that that younger kid in the beginning digging the tunnel was Noah.
Yeah.
Right? So the question is, I'm assuming that that book that Noah has is completely different from the book that Peter has. Because I think Claudia is the one that gave Peter that book, right?
Right.
I don't know if they confirmed the origin of it, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe they did and we just missed it because of one of those subtle things like how they showed certain pictures and stuff.
I just think like the way Claudia kind of showed up and knew what to do with Matt's body, and at that point they started to keep the timestamps. I'm just guessing that maybe something Claudia gave. But yeah, let's just say it's a completely different book. Who took the missing pages out of Noah's book? I don't know if it's something where, I was walking and the pages happened to fall out.
It could have been. Now that you're talking about it, it could be Claudia. Because
maybe she stole the page, that's how she knows what's going on.
And that's how they're able to kind of like prevent certain things from happening. Because maybe they have those pages. If all those pages are certain time, I guess, I didn't know that all those pages were timestamps either. So maybe it has to be, I guess, that's how Noah knows.
Because that's how we also see that's the beginning or the ending of the cycle. It was in Noah's book.
And he's like, oh, I know Mikkel's gonna go in the tunnel, and that's when the stranger shows up. I go there and kind of.
So that would be my guess. If the page is missing, I'd be guessing it's Claudia is the one that stole.
Yeah, because Mira Claudia is the one that also told herself that he would stop Adam.
Exactly. So, so that was interesting there. Other than that, the book that Elizabeth has, where she's opening up the book, and she finds the 1921 picture that has Adam and Noah in it.
Yeah.
The name of that book was Kai Valium, so I wonder if that particular book is going to be like this season's journey through time.
Oh, gotcha. Like how the Journey Through Time book was received.
Yeah, it was like a major plot point through the whole season. Again, I don't have any idea what Kai Valium is even about. I'm guessing it has something to do with time. But
that's what Townhouse likes to read.
Yeah, I mean, Townhouse likes to read it probably for a good reason. There's probably a reason why he picked that book in particular to hide the picture.
Right.
So I guess that'll be a clue. And then also when Jonas was in the future, he's in Claudia's bunker. And it's like right before he plays the tape where she's like talking about the dark matter. He finds a picture of Martha there, and there's like a medallion. It's like a silver medallion that has like some kind of like guy holding a sword. So I want to know what the fuck that's about, because I think it's completely different than the ones that like Helgi and Noah are putting on the kids that were sending for the chair.
Right.
So I don't know if we've seen that at all in the first season at all. I guess maybe we'll get a flashback of what that medallion means. I feel like that's going to come in handy there. The concept of this whole 33-year-old time travel, I don't know if I'm like thinking too into this or this is going to confuse me, but I'm just thinking, it's like, in the first season we were accustomed to having 3 specific points in time that we were traveling back and forth to. Now in season 2, it's a little bit different because now the time periods I feel are still parallel, but now we're like 6 months in the future. Right. And I feel like it's the same with all 3 timelines. So instead of 2019, you have 2020. Instead of 1986, it's 87. Yeah. And we haven't really been too much in the 53 timeline, but I'm guessing if we do, it's 54. Yeah. Right? So that leads me to believe, like, is it just the apocalypse happening in 6 days that prevents that from going any further? Because I'm just thinking, like, as an example. So let's say Claudia has the time machine box and she wants to go to 1986, right? And she decides, I'm gonna live here for 5 years, just hang out. That'll put her at like 1991. If she uses the time machine in 1991, it's not just gonna send her to the time periods that we know. It will send her 33 years in the past or 33 years in the future from that particular time.
I think if she even uses the tunnel to make it the same. Well, no, actually, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, no, you might be right, because let's say the same concept. She stays in 1986 for 5 years, and instead of using the time machine box, she goes through the tunnel. Yeah, would it be like this 33-year-old? Will that apply, or is that like some kind of paradox I'm not thinking about? Or
no, I guess it would, because when Jonas went, because Jonas didn't use the time machine when he first went through. Remember when he found the tunnel and he found the thread? He went through, and it's already been a couple days that Mikkel's been in the hospital. Right. So I mean, it wasn't like.
And technically, that's what we're seeing now. Like when the stranger and Hannah used the time machine, they went the same exact like 6 months in the future, but in the 1986 timeline, so technically it was 87.
Yeah, it is all parallel together.
So yeah, I feel like it's parallel, but I just wonder, like, are there limitations to the 33-year-old, or can you literally be in any time period with that time machine box, and it's going to take you to 33 years in either direction from that particular point?
Right.
And maybe it's just because the world's ending in 6 days that we're not really going to delve too deep into that.
It's crazy because I want to know what happened to the original, the first. I don't know how many Claudias there's been. How many times have they repeated this CD soundtrack?
Yeah, exactly. Because now we know that Claudia's got the time machine, the 86/87 Claudia. So, I mean, at this point, is that the reason why she disappears? Because, you know, at this point,
she does, because Regina even touches on it. So my mom's here, never saw her again.
Yeah, it seemed like it was something that was just like there's no closure there. She was just gone, and then she just came back. With the Dark Portal, how does the time travel work there? Because I feel like at the end of the season finale of season 1, Jonas literally goes 66 years. It doesn't obey that 33-year rule. So is it because it's such a concentrated amount of that dark matter that it, like, you make, for all you know, you can go 99 years in either direction?
The question is, where's Jonas now? When's Jonas?
We
haven't seen how that thing works.
I don't think I don't know if he like can predetermine a destination before he gets in there, or if he just kind of went on faith, oh, better than this hellhole, and just decided to go
through. If I go
through.
back, they catch me again, they're definitely gonna hang me.
Yeah, so theoretically, you can shoot him any period. Like, as long as it's like multiples of 33, but yeah, like I said, you can go to like a whole different cycle of time.
I'm guessing, you know, that also makes me nervous though for Jonas's character is we haven't seen an older stranger. Like, we finally got to see older Ulrich,
right?
But we haven't got to see an older Jonas roaming around the future. Like, we've never seen like a stranger help the stranger. It's always been
there's no like older version of Jonas, like an old man Jonas, I guess you can say.
So that kind of makes me nervous. Like, fuck.
Is he gonna suffer like Helgi's fate, or he's gonna get to a certain time period and that's just gonna be the end of his timeline?
Yeah, that's making me nervous because we've seen old Claudia.
Yeah.
So we know that she eventually probably kicks the bucket eventually too. But hopefully, speaking of Ulrich, hopefully we get some more Ulrich. Even though his timeline's kind of like his arc in the story's almost done, does that mean they can still be monkey wrenched and he can get saved? I feel bad for him. That's such fucking timelines.
I feel like there's still gonna be something there between him and Egon. Like, if I had to guess,
before Egon dies, maybe.
Yeah, because Egon's on his deathbed, and the fact that old Ulrich is kind of like fucking with him, like, oh, I withheld him, almost like to the point, like, I withheld information just so you were in the dark this whole time. You don't know what the hell's really going on. So it's like, I feel like kind of said last episode, I feel like Egon's starting to pick up where he got that quote now from that metal song. The one that's in English. So who's to say that he doesn't go visit young Ulrich
and start putting the interrogations together?
Exactly. Because that's the same thing. He kind of wants like to solve that Mads disappearance before he dies. That's like something he could never solve, and Ulrich kind of holds him responsible for that shit. But like, who's to say that he's fucking with Ulrich and he doesn't just go to young Ulrich and be like, oh, I know what happens to you in the future, like a last haha before he dies.
It's almost crazy how Ulrich in both scenarios called the future. Like when he was a teenager, he's like, be careful, man, you probably die from cancer.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then when he was back in 53, it was like wife losing. Like all these little subtle shit. And then even in the present now, if you want to say call that, where old Ulrich, he's like, oh, I know your time, or I know you're gonna die. It's in the newspaper.
Exactly. Cool thing though is I think like the 53 scene where he says, oh yeah, your wife leaves. I think it's maybe because he already knew that. Because technically,
yeah, he would have already known that.
Yeah, I don't think that was like because he. Well, I guess it can fall in the same thing. I think it's because he knew not from time travel, just because he lived through it.
Yeah.
Obviously, that Egon at that time has happened.
Yeah. Out of those 3 scenarios I gave, like 2 out of those 3, he already knew the fate. But him as a teenager, he didn't know. He just fucking.
Yeah, that was just like he just said some shit and he spoke into existence. Like, shit. So yeah, fuck you. But other than that, and then we also have. I feel like with this season, it's really focusing on the Doppler family.
Yeah, like
specifically like Charlotte and her lineage, because we don't know a lot about Charlotte's parents or her grandparents. Like, I was kind of drawing out a family tree, so we know that, like, for example, when Elizabeth's saying, oh, I didn't even get to meet my great-grandparents. Who is she? I mean, at that point, we know her great-grandfather on Peter's side is Helgi. Yep. And we do know from last episode, or from the first episode, that on her mom's side, her great-grandfather is H.G. Townhouse, right?
Right.
But H.G. Townhouse obviously had to get with somebody and had kids. And those kids got together and had Charlotte. So in other words, we don't know who Charlotte's parents are, and we technically don't know who H.G. Townhouse's wife or his baby mama is either. Because for all we know, Townhouse could have had a son that married some woman we haven't met yet, or he could have had a daughter that married some guy. It could be either or, because we haven't met either. Yeah, but there's definitely question marks there as far as who did H.G. Townhouse hook up with and who are Charlotte's parents. Now, we made some predictions last episode where I kind of threw some crazy spaghetti at the wall, and I was thinking about Clausen, just off the fact that he's obviously getting a little bit fishy now. He noticed the 1921 picture in Charlotte's office, and he was questioning Regina about what the stranger looked like. So it's not, for him, it's not just about the missing person, because he knows some shit. So it wouldn't surprise me if somehow he was Charlotte's father, which means that he would be H.G. Townhouse's son.
And that means you can't. That means you have to assume that what Charlotte's saying is a lie, or what she got fed is a lie. That when she said her parents being dead.
Yeah. But also going back to, like, again, staying in the Doppler family, but going to like Peter's side of the family, we don't know who Peter's mother is, if I'm not mistaken. Because we know, okay, so going up, we know Bern and Greta. Greta's Helge's mom.
Who Helge hooked up with, right?
Yeah, they had Helge, and then Helge hooks up with somebody and has Peter. So we don't know who that mystery woman is, or if we've even met her. And speaking of this, now that we're in 1921, we can even go higher than that. We can say who's H.G. Townhouse's parents, who's Bern or Greta's parents.
Thinking about that too.
Because they could be alive in
like when you're editing, and I was editing one episode, I'm thinking like, why would he have that picture, Townhouse? Have that picture? Like, could it be some symbolism? Like someone in that photo is his father?
Yeah, I think we touched on that in the first episode discussion, but we haven't really gone too deep in it. But that's very possible. Someone in that picture is related to Townhouse,
and that's why he's
or
involved.
Bern.
It's either that he's related, or he's just involved because of the whole time travel.
Exactly, and that'll probably answer the question: who made the blueprint for the time travel?
That's what I want to know. Who made the blueprint?
But yeah, other than that, I think that's the main one. I just want to kind of dive in, kind of get, like I said, we have a lot of questions we want answers, and I'm ready to start with this. You ready?
Right.
All right, guys, and as usual, just take a couple seconds, hit the like button down below. The impressions do lead to more views. You can go ahead and catch the full-length watch along for the next episode on our Patreon. With that being said, let's fucking go. Oh, shit. You see 53 Helge?
Wie du zum Mann wirst.
He's hooking up to the chair. What the fuck?
Die Zeit hat dich auserwählt. Gott hat dich auserwählt.
Dang. Did he make it? We obviously has to make it, right?
Something has to happen.
Vergiss nicht, dass wir jetzt auch dein Zuhause sind. Dir wird kein Leid geschehen.
Oh, is that the missing piece why it wasn't working before?
He doesn't put that thing on his head, then that'll be also something else.
Oh, it's different altogether.
It is.
So, oh, he did get it to work.
Tick. Tack.
Tick.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is that thing? Did that evolve from the chair?
I mean, it would make sense because before he didn't have the C-157, right? That was...
No, he didn't. So yeah, maybe that's what he
It was relying on the power from the plant. Like, all the wires and shit hooked up, right?
So, shit, so Mads and all them, all the Eric and them, that... Fuck, did they bring him through the tunnel when he had the chairs? Or the...
Fuck, okay, so...
Yeah, it had to evolve. He doesn't have, like, all those...
Maybe he just, like, got information from the future, however he got it, and got a new prototype or a new design on how to rebuild the chair.
Les is like, oh no, I use the chair to murder kids and teleport them. So what I'll do is when Helge comes, I can't have him die. I'll pull out my machine that actually works. So that doesn't make sense. I think it evolved.
I mean, does that mean that this whole time he wasn't really trying to kill the kids? They were just guinea pigs until he got it to work?
If he has two things, like all of a sudden you see that. And if he still has a chair, if we see the chair later in the season, then he meant to kill him.
That's maybe something else he needed Jonas for to get his hands on the Celsium or whatever. Well, to answer the question, if that works, how he goes back to 1953.
Yeah, I think.
Or technically it'll be 1954.
I'm assuming that's where he's sending him.
That's Egon's wife, which means that's probably Agnes on the other end of that.
Agnes probably eating her out.
There you are. But I still want to confirm who your husband was. Oh shit!
Claudia, bist du nicht schon los? Kauf dir einen Drops dafür.
Don't tell your dad. Whatever you do, don't tell your dad.
I'm happy for her though. She looks more happy.
That's the most happy I've seen her.
No, I feel bad for Egon. They just look at her. She's like giddy about it. So she's like when you first fall in love,
Egon can never
like
do
first
that.
girlfriend.
Yeah, it's like the honeymoon
first
phase.
relationship. But it might be different for her. She probably never realized that shit. Oh shit.
Well, it's probably just like freedom getting her getting like to express herself because she's probably hiding how she feels.
Yeah, especially this time.
That's probably not the first woman she's been attracted to.
Yeah.
Hoagie comes home.
There we go. Is her mom gonna scold him? Because she's gonna see the scars on his face.
Yeah, she's like, what the fuck happened to you? He's been missing for 6 months.
And he looks like stone cold.
Yeah, he's been through some shit.
Verloren unter seinem Blick. Bringt alles wieder.
This is probably gonna make her even closer to Noah because she probably looks at Noah as a person she can pray to, like, who's like a mouthpiece to God.
Yeah.
Deine Frau und du, sind da die Dinge noch? Was habt ihr noch? Viel? Nein, überhaupt.
Egon's already starting to feel the distance between him and his wife.
Yeah.
Helge Doppler.
Boom.
Seinem Leichnam.
Nein, der Junge lebt. Er ist einfach durch die Tür spaziert, als wäre nichts passiert.
Warum redest du eigentlich nie darüber, wie es da war, wo ihr herkommt,
Yeah, talk about it.
bevor ihr nach Winden kommt?
Yeah.
Tronti, spill the beans, Tronti.
Ich war lange in einem Heim.
Awesome.
Oh, shit.
Sie redet nicht gern darüber.
So that's not even her real son. Is that...
Meine Mutter hat einen Bruder. Aber ich glaube, sie hassen sie.
Oh shit. Who's Agnes' brother? Wait, so he's saying he grew up in an orphanage, so Agnes isn't his real mom? She adopted him?
I think so. Or they could be still and she couldn't watch him.
Who's Agnes' brother?
Could be a real mom and she finally got her kid back from the orphanage. Like, what are you doing?
What are you guys doing? I'm not comfortable with this. She experimenting? Her and Tronti were close at a young ass age. What the fuck?
Too young.
Hast du mein Buch gesehen?
Welches Buch?
Na, die Gespenster.
Oh. That's the name of the book in the episode.
Vielleicht willst du heute mal schwänzen und wir machen was Schönes. Ich weiß auch nicht, ich dachte nur, wir haben so lange nichts mehr zusammen gemacht.
Ich schreibe heute Deutsch und nachher wollte ich noch zum See.
Claudia's got a new outlook on life. She can literally time travel
Ich
now.
habe keine Zeit. Ich muss los.
Damn.
She knows, yeah, because she like knows her daughter's fate.
Yeah. Claudia's like, oh, I got all the time I want, baby. I got a time machine.
And Claudia also like, yeah, I know you don't got time.
See? The book that Helgi gave her. That, oh shit. Oh, is that where she's gonna go?
Before Claudia from Helgi, okay.
She gonna go see Townhouse?
Maybe.
Look, he's looking at something. I'm telling you, he's gonna connect him to
Yeah, he's
Jan
not.
Ulrich. He's gonna look at the lyrics.
Aim is to take many lives.
Come on, I want him to figure it out. I don't know if he's going to, but I want him to.
Er hat noch kein einziges Wort gesprochen. Etwas ist merkwürdig mit dem Buch.
Es dauert auch nicht lange. Möchtest du mir nicht sagen, wo du all die Zeit gewesen bist? Und bei wem? Wer hat dir das angetan?
So then he probably hasn't said anything since he came back. Oh, shit.
Letztes Jahr dieses Buch. Warum hast du mir das geschenkt?
Ich hab gedacht, vielleicht die Einzige, die mich versteht.
Understand? I feel bad for Helgi. He loved her too.
Definitely.
Es ist ein Kampf zwischen Gut und Böse, zwischen Licht und Schatten, dass die Reisenden alles ungeschehen
The
machen.
Traveler.
He freaks out every time he talks about Noah.
Wer hat es gesagt?
Noah.
Dropped his name now.
Yeah.
Wer ist Noah?
Let's see.
Du darfst ihm nicht vertrauen. Niemals, hörst du? Niemals.
Wow.
Claudia, go, you're hurting.
Helge!
Noah broke his ass.
Accident too.
And now we know why he says that, because when Noah said it when he put him in the time chamber.
Yeah. He's like, speak of me, here I am.
You speak of the devil, because I am the
The
devil.
white devil. Why is she over here?
Yeah, how do you even know about this? Oh shit.
Oh shit.
You've been meeting with Claudia?
Hat dich jemand gesehen?
Oh shit.
Sie haben Helge heute zurückgeschickt. Noah ist auch zurück.
Keine Angst mehr vor ihm.
Oh
Oh no.
Ihr tragt das gleiche Blut.
Her brother! Her brother's Noah!
Machen heißt sich freimachen. Das hast du selbst gesagt.
Holy fuck.
Das musst du mir geben. Nicht jetzt. Es hat noch Zeit.
Give it to her as a little girl? It's crazy. She's like pushing for things to happen.
Today.
Ich wollte dir danken. Für alles.
Holy shit.
Meine Mutter liebt dich, weißt du das? Sie wird dich sehr glücklich machen, wenn du sie lässt.
Damn.
She said today, like as in, she's dying today?
She's like, give her this. I don't know if Agnes was
She
referring to
read
what she
something
read
on
and said this happened today, or saying give this to her today.
That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, you're making the clock. Like, fucking Noah gave her. A little pocket clock. Oh.
Yep. Okay, that confirms that he's the one that built it. Oh shit, she could come.
Sind Sie H.G. Tannhaus? Dieses Buch geschrieben.
Ich habe mich gefragt, wann es soweit ist.
Ich kenne Sie überhaupt nicht.
Aber ich kenne sie.
Yeah, because he saw the older version. She bought the blueprint.
Ein ewiger Kreislauf.
Der Irre, der die Kinder getötet hat. Und der Dopplerjunge. Wie soll er das gemacht haben?
Nimm du dir den Irren noch mal vor.
Oh shit.
Vielleicht spricht er ja jetzt.
Because I don't want to talk to him. He tells me shit about my future, and I'm like,
Oh shit.
Ich möchte wissen, was das alles bedeutet.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna visit young Ulrich.
Die Worte haben sie 1953 zu mir gesagt. Das hier wurde aber erst letztes Jahr veröffentlicht.
So he's not putting it together that he doesn't even remember what he said to young Ulrich then.
Warum haben sie die Kinder ermordet?
Ich habe die Kinder nicht ermordet. Ich wollte sie retten.
Warum haben sie uns nie gesagt, wie sie heißen, wer sie sind?
You're not ready for that answer.
Ulrich.
Oh shit. Just like that.
Ulrich Nielsen. Ich komme aus der Zukunft.
I mean, you can't deny it.
Woo! He just said I got chills all over my body.
Überhaupt einen Anfang?
How the hell do you get the book is, I guess, the main question.
Die Welt ist voll von solchen Paradoxen.
Ich glaube nicht, dass wir sehen, was rauskriegen.
Why am I Ulrich isn't talking as much now?
I wonder if the conversation they have here is going to be parallel, almost identical to the one they have when they're both old men.
We're gonna see Ulrich? There's like young actor Ulrich?
Damn.
Yeah.
Mein Name ist Tiedemann. Egon Tiedemann. Erinnern Sie sich an mich? Der Dopplerjunge ist wieder zu Hause.
Oh, fuck.
Namen gesagt? Nicht, dass ich wüsste.
Yeah. Well, he says his name now, it's not gonna really do anything. Because Ulrich hasn't been born yet, has
Yeah, it's not gonna ring any bells.
Also Ulrich
he?
Nielsen.
I always said after the fact. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he would definitely say something to get him transferred to the psychiatric ward.
Sie wollen wissen, wie er funktioniert.
Woher wissen Sie das?
Sie hat mir gesagt, dass Sie eines Tages hier erscheinen würden und dass ich Ihnen den Apparat erklären soll. Ihr zukünftiges Ich.
Yeah, we've met.
Sie hat gewusst, dass Sie hier erscheinen werden, damit ich Ihnen und damit ihr.
Bootstrap.
Sure, blowing my mind right now.
Yeah. Damn. So they must have been hanging out for the whole 6 months he was in the room. I was hugging him and shit.
Yeah, right, getting nervous though.
Deine Mutter macht sich Sorgen um dich.
Wollen wir jetzt zeigen, dass es keinen Grund dafür gibt? Ich möchte, dass du etwas für mich liest.
Du bist mein Schutz.
He's like, oh, hey, look at me now.
Greta's like, it's a miracle.
Spricht.
Ich bin mir sicher, er wählt seine Worte nur mit Bedacht.
Wollen Sie nicht noch bleiben?
Yeah, that shit to do.
Noah could fuck if he really wanted to. He's got her like that.
Er ist zurückgekehrt. Er ist ein Wunder. Vergessen Sie das nicht. Ich würde gern mit dem Jungen
Shit.
reden.
Yeah.
But she already changed his name to Michael at this point.
Hat er dir mal was über seine Eltern gesagt?
Michael will das alles zurücklassen.
Is he gonna bring his son to old Ulrich?
That would be crazy. If he kidnaps Michael, takes him over.
Please, dude. That'll be like, you always want to see his sons alive.
Den Namen Ulrich hat er dir gegenüber auch nicht erwähnt.
Jokes.
Vielleicht kann ich morgen mit ihm reden.
Gut.
You think she's gonna warn Michael that when you talk to him, don't say anything about Ulrich.
Yeah.
Do not mention that name.
Oh no.
Oh fuck.
Ich schlafe in letzter Zeit wieder schlecht.
Hättest du vielleicht ein Foto von dem Jungen?
So he has a picture, you can show that to Ulrich at least.
Yeah. Ulrich, where'd you get this?
Because Ulrich's already
Yeah,
given
Ulrich, yeah,
he's already given up.
Ulrich, that's my son.
Yeah, Ulrich has already given up on Michael at this point, I feel. He never found him. Oh yeah.
Nur für die.
Oh yeah, he's in a mindfuck Ulrich. Holy shit.
Please go back to old Ulrich. I mean, it doesn't matter what scene, I love all the scenes, but I just want to see old Ulrich's face when he's like, is this your son?
My son!
Oh shit, brother and sister.
Oh shit.
Wenn du glaubst, Adam lässt dich zurück, dann irrst du dich.
Fuck.
Du hast deine Seite
He's so in this shit.
Ich weiß, wo die letzten Seiten sind. Und ich weiß, wie lange Adam danach gesucht hat. So nicht, er würde alles tun, um sie zu bekommen.
Holy shit, we're just talking about that.
Ich glaube dir kein Wort. Sie hätte dir niemals gesagt, wo sie sind.
So Miss Claudia doesn't know where they are.
What does it say?
Tell me.
Im Gegenzug will ich, dass du Adam sagst, dass ich zurück will. Bevor der neue Zyklus
She's
beginnt.
part of that cult.
Du opferst sie.
Du kannst deine eigene Schwester nicht so hassen, wie du sie hast.
You can't hate your sister, you hate her referring to Claudia?
What do you think, she's gonna kidnap young Claudia and give her to Noah?
Or she's supposed to do that?
I don't know.
What's that newspaper say?
Yeah, is this part of Claudia's plan is the question. And what does the newspaper say? It seems to me though that Agnes was part of the cult, was exiled for whatever reason.
Or she left.
Yeah, she left or was kicked out and she's trying to get her way back in,
Is her
supposedly.
Is her husband Adam? My husband was a man of faith.
I mean, that,
Because
You
it's
got
not Noah.
this-
Noah is the brother.
Noah's the brother, so I mean, it could still be who we think is Bartosz, or it could still be.
Unless it's some incest shit going on.
Oh,
Oh, it's Claudia.
Holy
What
fuck.
the fuck?
Oh, she was there, burying the time machine.
Du bist ein so guter Mensch. Die Welt hat dich nicht verdient.
She probably time traveled before he died, so she wasn't around when it happened.
Ich bin hier, weil ich dir etwas sagen muss.
Years about the time.
Es tut mir leid.
Was tut Ihnen leid?
Alles. Du hast nichts davon verdient. Aber manchmal trifft es die Guten am härtesten.
He has chills right now. So,
Ich verstehe nicht.
Well, yeah, this one, he's
He's
right.
shook, bro.
He's shook because he knows it's something profound.
Or have been hitting him with shit.
Right, if someone came and sat down and said some crazy shit like that, you didn't specify what they're talking about. But
Was machst du denn hier?
or is he telling her he has cancer because he hasn't technically told her yet?
Du kannst hier nicht einfach so auftauchen. Warum machst du nicht einen Termin mit meiner Sekretärin? Woche zum Beispiel.
Ich habe Krebs.
Fuck. Yep, that's what it was.
Prostata.
Damn. Did you know he was a good man back then?
I mean, it's died at the end of the day. Ah, shit.
Du bist wieder da.
Hallo, Prinzessin Naseweiß. Wo ist denn Mama?
We got him mom flowers. Yeah.
He's probably trying to rekindle.
I feel bad for him. He's not a bad guy. From what I've seen.
Ich glaube, ich habe heute eine Hexe gesehen.
Es gibt keine Hexen.
Doch.
Wie sah sie denn aus?
Lange, weiße Haare.
Und was hat sie gesagt?
Dass es ihr leid tut.
I wonder if Claudia remembers this.
Du bist ein zu guter Mensch, Papa. Die Welt hat dich nicht
Damn, so she
verdient.
believed that.
The world doesn't deserve you.
Oh fuck, that's gonna be the key. What did you just say? Oh, that shook him to his core.
In the same eye color. She's not gonna know. Look at me, he's like, oh shit.
Oh, I know.
Ein Déjà-vu.
Crazy.
Eltern, Kinder, die alle laufen nur einen Teil ihres Lebens einen gemeinsamen Weg. Am Ende sind sie meilenweit voneinander entfernt.
Bro, this is gonna wreck Ulrich's whole shit. Oh no!
Kennen Sie
Holy
diesen
shit! This is fucking nuts.
Like my son.
Wo ist er? Du hast es gewusst, dass er hier ist. Du hast es die ganze Zeit gewusst. Wo ist er?
He didn't know. God!
Oh shit! Oh, calm down, you're getting...
All these crazy people's reactions is making it fucking weirder. Fuck!
He knows now. He got the reaction. You have to know. He can't.
Oh yeah, that's confirmed. If it wasn't confirmed, but before, it's confirmed now.
Das Ganze braucht noch 33 Jahre, bis es soweit ist.
Dieses Ding, der Bauplan, ich verstehe nicht ganz, was es ist.
Fuck the book.
Unser Leben lang fragen wir uns, wohin unsere Reise geht. Sie können es behalten, ich brauche es nicht mehr.
Warum geben Sie mir das?
So motivate you to write it.
Ich werde bald tot sein.
Oh shit.
Das alles wird bald sein Ende haben. Aber bis dahin muss alles so bleiben, wie es immer war.
So, how do you think she's gonna die? Do you think?
I think Noah's gonna murder her. Because what? I don't know if that's part of her plan though.
So either Noah kills her, or maybe she has cancer and we haven't realized that yet, or she's gonna try to like sacrifice herself to change the timeline.
Yeah, because she, it's something that has to do with that newspaper article because she's made her say today.
But he still hasn't connected the dots that young Ulrich was listening to that same record.
I thought he would right now. Like you can go visit young Ulrich for this. Look at them through the picture.
Think about him. He had that point in time where you can choose to go to 86 or 53.
Yeah.
And that one decision kept him there for 33 years. And
Mickles in 86 would have found Mickle.
He would have found Mickle,
but they would have fucked up everything.
Yeah. Oh shit! Do you think Eon's gonna connect the dots? Like you're spending an awful lot of time with Agnes lately. We're about to see Claudia time travel. Where are you going?
And why did she decide to travel now?
Maybe it's about what her dad told her, like about the cancer. Maybe she's gonna try to go back. Think she can change it, or it's something that Claudia told her about Adam.
Yeah.
Maybe she's gonna try to find Adam.
Fuck. Don't want the episode to end
Bro.
just yet. Oh shit.
What are you about to do, Claudia?
Du dachtest, du kannst ihr vertrauen.
Yeah. What is no fuck?
Sie hat dich verraten.
So this is Claudia's whole plan.
Oh shit.
Du wirst sterben.
Ich weiß, dass ich sterben werde.
Yeah,
Aber werde ich diese Partie verlieren? Oder ist das hier unser ein Teil eines Spiels, von dem du immer noch nicht weißt, wie man es spielt?
Ich bin keiner deiner Bauern.
Where are you?
Aber Adams bist du noch.
Yeah.
Shit.
Verkauft durch die Illusion von Freiheit. Das ist deine Wahl.
Yeah, Claudia's got the upper hand.
Making him sweat.
Fuck. Oh, why about Claudia?
So Claudia knew that she was a betrayer?
I think she knew that as soon as she had that deal with Agnes.
So who's their husband then? We don't know.
Yes. Oh shit.
So she was supposed to give it to him.
So yeah, she definitely knew she was gonna die.
So she said today I knew it.
So you think she's gonna give that to her younger self? Or just...
Yeah, because she has to know, you have plenty of time. She has to eventually give it to her. Like now it makes sense. Missing pages. Face it all up front. Or these pages bullshit.
Yeah.
To throw them off.
Maybe
fuck up their plan.
They're fake pages, maybe. But no one would know the difference, right? You'd be able to recognize pages out of his own book, right?
It is the same material pages. You could have ripped them out and just wrote bullshit on them.
Shit.
Charlotte.
What are you reading? What the fuck? Charlotte just wrecked Noah. What about Charlotte? What the fuck? What did you see, Noah?
It's not true. It's gonna fuck with them to go back. One of those is bullshit or not.
Is he Charlotte's father? Because we don't know who the father is.
Egal, wie sehr wir dagegen ankämpfen wollen. Wir sind verbunden.
Oh my god.
Unser Blut.
She sees her daughter with cancer.
Yeah.
So she went to 2019.
Yeah, but
or 2020.
Am Ende würden wir doch alles für sie tun.
She already knew her father had it, so fuck. That's
Ein
horrible.
roter Faden.
And her fate sucks too, bro. She got shot.
Yeah, that whole family line is tragic. Who are you?
You dirty motherfucker.
Hatte sie die Seiten dabei.
Oh, he lied.
Does Adam know though?
Sie hat bekommen, was sie verdient hat.
What did the pages say that Noah's keeping it from Adam now?
Am Ende bekommen wir alle, was wir verdient haben.
Fuck. Holy shit. Ghost. Glacier Stink.
Fucking things are like getting more and more intense. Oh my god, like there's just so many different rabbit holes to jump down. I'm just trying to think how we start. Okay, we finally get a question answered that we had back in season 1 of how the hell did young Helgi get back to this time period?
Yeah, it wasn't an answer I was expecting. Because I was expecting that somebody just drug him through the tunnel. Because I just assumed that the chair was destined to fail. But apparently, Noah fixed the chair instead of the thing going over the eyes. It's like a whole thing that encloses around you. And I'm thinking it was the celsium. I'm guessing that was like the missing ingredient, plus the design work of the chair itself was what was causing. Because I feel like before when he was using the chair and he was frying out Mad's eyeballs and Eric's eyeballs, he didn't have this. He was using the celsium.
I don't remember him using that.
Or at least they didn't show him like putting it into the chamber. I always assumed that it was because he had the chair itself plugged into like some kind of power source from the power.
I think it's safe to say that no one's going through the tunnels. I think, like Stranger said in the last episode, that those are closed.
Yeah,
so
now
it's
it's
a
just
form of different time travel.
It's just a time traveling box, and now we know that Noah's chair prototype has been improved and it works perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
So that show's crazy.
It was crazy to see him, young Helgi, get back, but he just wasn't talking to anybody until he saw Noah.
And something happened when that 6. Remember, he was in that room for 6 months. We would assume. So he must have had developed some relationship with Noah. I'm sure maybe it's just a mixture of Noah just like explaining things to him like you would like a little kid about like his destiny and time travel and the Bible and things like that. Where he just got really close to Noah because as soon as Noah pops back up in 54, he's not saying shit to his mom this whole time. And as soon as Noah pops up, he just runs and gives him a hug. And he's a works out of the Bible.
It's crazy because you know what Helgi's fate is, and it doesn't seem like Noah. I don't know. It's hard to read Noah's character, but it doesn't seem like he gives a shit. Like
I think he's just playing Helgi like fiddle. He's just like garnering trust, and plus now Helgi's mom is pretty much enamored by Noah. I feel like I said, I feel like Noah wanted to tap that he could, like without question. And maybe it'll end up happening because she like looks up to him like you're a savior almost.
Yeah, because you kept saying he basically saying pray your son will come back, and then he shows up and then his son starts talking.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely get it there, but yeah, I'm sure that'll definitely develop. Speaking of developing relationships, we definitely get confirmation that Agnes and Doris are a thing.
Yep. Very next scene.
And young Claudia walks in on them. I don't know if that's kind of like
she notices. She does know.
Yeah, I think she's smart for her age. So, and I feel like that's kind of one of the things like that one scene in the woods where she has Chauncey like drop his trousers. I think she's just kind of like maybe it was that experience of walking in her mom. She's I guess sexually curious or whatever, but
yeah, I'm not sure. Cause when they went out there, it seemed like that's what they were going to do. Because when they got to a certain point, like, okay, are you gonna show it to me?
Yeah, but they did drop some interesting info during that walk because Claudia's asking Chauncey about his family and all that, and Chauncey says that he was at an orphanage. So it leads me to believe that Agnes is not his biological mother; she adopted him.
And he mentioned during that scene that she had a brother.
That she had a brother, which we later find out is Noah. Which I was kind of predicting that Noah was the husband.
Yep.
But it makes more sense that she's the brother. So Agnes has definitely got crazy ass backstory because now we know that Noah's the brother, so we know that she was kicked out of the cult for whatever reason. We don't know why, maybe she lost her faith or whatever. Yeah. But I don't know if she's telling the truth. I mean, she tells Noah that she wants to get back in. But once she time travels, I feel like she, when they were talking in the church, that was in 1921, unless it was in 54 and the church is still standing.
Right.
But if she doesn't time travel, she at the very least knows very well about time travel.
Yeah, I think they're in 54. They're in 54.
In the church scene?
Yeah, I think because
there's probably telltale clues like in the construction of the church, like, cause I think in 21 it wasn't all like completed on the construction of it.
Yeah.
But obviously she had this relationship with old Claudia.
Yeah, they had a relationship, so they met at some point, and they're pretty close. And she even said, you know, my mother loves you. When did the mom pass?
But yeah, she was just saying we
never see the old mom.
Yeah, we never see the mom as an old woman. But,
well, I guess maybe if she runs off with Agnes.
But the crazy thing is with old Claudia, she knows what that's gonna do to her father. The fact that she ends up leaving Egon, but she still like is more about like, you know, my mother loves you, so move forward with that and, you know, take care of it when it'll work out.
Yeah, and Egon's sad, man, because he started to pick up on it when he went downstairs and saw them together.
Yes, and plus, I mean, it seems like with Egon and Doris, they haven't been really physically intimate, because when he's talking to his boss, aka, you know, Enos's father,
yeah,
he's like trying to get married to her. It's like, so when you got married, you know, did you guys just stop hooking up or having sex? And then he started going on about like, oh, sorry, since they have kids,
it's all about kids. Like, no, at all.
Yeah, so, but going back to Agnes, like, okay, so we know that Noah's her brother, but I still feel like there's this big question mark about who was her husband, because she still, I still won't forget when she said, my husband was a pastor, but he was also not a man of faith. So I could tie back to this original theory we had that maybe Bartosz, again, assuming that the guy in 1921 with the tattoo on his chest is an older Bartosz. Yeah, we're just going off that theory there. So what if somehow Bartosz hooked up with Agnes at some time in like 1954, and he's the one that was putting cigar burns on Tronte
when they adopted him.
And so he got away, because she assumed that he's dead, which technically he is dead in 1921. So maybe,
and she wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, because her and Noah are related, so Noah definitely was
a part of that cult.
So somehow maybe she orchestrated to have Bartosz go back to 1921, and that's where he's gonna die. Maybe she communicated that with Adam, which we'll talk about in a second. But I'm thinking either that older character, where he assumes Bartosz is the one that married Agnes.
Yeah.
Or it's somebody that, you know, still needs to be revealed yet.
Yeah. I mean, it could make sense when she was getting the burn. She could have got to Noah, and if she was part of that cult before she left, she could have kind of told young Noah, her young brother, like, hey, I'm your older sister. You got to murder this guy. He's not messing up his plans.
He's abusing Tronte. You got to get rid of him.
And young Noah's gonna trust his sister. You know, it depends on when they took. She didn't leave until when she was older. So yeah, she could have believed it, and then she left right after. Like, I'm gonna do that, and maybe Noah didn't really want him to die, because that was like his accomplice. And when he did that, it's like, oh, fuck you.
But the thing is, like, Adam also put the hit out more or less, because even that guy said, Bartosz said, oh, you know, I'm surprised it was you, and Adam's the one that sent you, and Adam's the one that called you Noah. So I feel like Adam was kind of the one that like made the final call. Like, all right, yeah, kill Bartosz.
And Noah's is still a big piece, because it ties back to what, if we're assuming that's old Bartosz, when he said, why did Adam choose you, and why did he call you Noah?
Yeah, I think it's going to take some more history, some more backstory of Adam and Noah interacting at a younger age, at a different time period, to kind of get clarity on that. Let me see.
I mean, one of the things I liked the interactions we got was with Ulrich.
I mean, Ulrich and Egon. I feel like I said, their destinies are intertwined throughout the entire Trinity.
I got hopeful, man. I thought, like, towards the end of the episode, that Egon and Ulrich might become friends.
Far from it. As soon as he saw that picture of Mikkel, he's like, holy fuck, I'm gonna kill you.
But that was crazy. I'm glad they got that scene. I was always gonna act out, but it's hard to blame him.
But yeah, even back to the quote that's kind of like haunting Egon is the whole, you know, my only aim is to take many lives, the more the better I feel, right? So I thought that because he had the vinyl of that, I forgot what band it was, the band that actually sings the lyrics of that song and even looks into the album art. I'm sure he's like, maybe the lyrics are already in there. I thought at that point it would have like went off and it said like, oh shit, I listened to the song when I was in young Ulrich's room. Yeah, I thought that was gonna be the connection. I guess he still didn't connect the dots there because he still went to old Ulrich and was saying, oh, you said this to me in 1953. What does it mean? He didn't mention anything about hearing it from young Ulrich. So I don't know, maybe later on that's going to click for him, but at that point in time, Ulrich finally confessed that, oh yeah, my name's Ulrich, I'm Ulrich.
Yeah, when he finally told his ass, like...
Yeah, so that kind of led old Egon down this like rabbit hole. Like, I feel like feels like he's so close to getting all this shit figured out. So then he goes to visit Enos, and is asking Enos about Mikkel.
Yeah.
Which at this point we know that Enos already changed his name to Michael, but obviously she's trying to protect Michael. I don't know if it's just so much like protecting him and like not wanting him to give any information to Egon, or if it's more she doesn't want him taken away. It's like more of like a selfish thing.
Yeah, like she's got attached to him. Remember, she's
attached to him
when she thought he ran away. Like
yeah, she's like kind of freaking out. Now, it seems like, you know, based on what Egon picked up, she's the one that she's feeding Mikkel sleeping pills. It's not really for her. I feel like she's giving it to
Mikkel. Yeah, I know she's giving it to him. Like the way she was acting, like she's acting kind of suspect. And yeah, I think Egon's a little bit smarter now. He's like picking up like, okay, I can't really call you
least, I mean, he's smart because at least he got the picture. That's all it took to show the picture to old Ulrich.
He has to know with that reaction that he got.
Oh yeah, because you got to think about that. Like we were saying, at a certain point in time, Ulrich was in the tunnel and he had a choice to go left or go right. And that one little decision cost him 33 years of his life of not finding his son. And then at the end of the day, he finds, oh shit, if I would have just gone, I'm sure like maybe Ulrich something like that, if I would have just gone right, I would have found my son 33 years ago.
And not been his son back, and it would have been.
But then it would have been bye-bye Jonas at that point.
Bye-bye Jonas, bye-bye Trinity, bye-bye time periods. Bye-bye tunnels.
Yeah, bye-bye wormhole, bye-bye all that shit.
Yeah, bye-bye all that shit. Yeah. And then during that part where you're talking about Egon investigating, it was kind of cool to see back and forth with Egon and Claudia too.
They had a lot of screen time this episode on 2 different timelines because we see, you know, obviously old Egon up until this point hadn't told Claudia that he had cancer, right? So there's one scene where he's in her office, and he finally tells her, and then she's kind of like, she's got so much other shit going on, but at the end of the day, like that's her father, and it doesn't seem like they have like an estranged relationship. Maybe it kind of like filtered off as they got older.
Yeah.
But you can see like he was kind of like her hero when she was a kid. But it was crazy that like old Claudia went to go see Egon in '54 and pretty much like without saying it was like saying goodbye and saying some real cryptic shit. But the main key thing, you know, whatever happens to you, I just want to say I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve it. You're such a good person, and the world doesn't deserve you.
Yeah.
And then Egon kind of is like freaked out about it, so he tells young Claudia about it. And he's like, oh, I met a witch. And then she's like, well, if she said like sorry to you, it doesn't seem like she's a witch. And then he's like talking to her, and then Lone Claudia says the exact same thing. I'm like, oh, you're so good, Daddy.
It's because she asked who the flowers are for, and like, oh, they're for Mom. And she knows that Mom's.
She knows what's going on behind the scenes, so that's why she's like, wow, you're such a good person. You know, the world doesn't deserve you. And that right there triggers, like, oh my god, that older person is Claudia. Holy fucking shit.
Like, I don't know that he probably like.
He called it deja vu.
Yeah, he called it deja vu.
But I feel like at that
color eye at that point, but I don't think he.
Yeah, because honestly, I wasn't like. Maybe I saw it, but I didn't really pick up on the fact that whatever that term where you have 2 different color eyes, I really didn't pick up on that. But I feel like if he was looking at old Claudia directly in the eye when she was saying it, he might have picked up that her eyes are 2 different colors and also noticed that in young Claudia. And
yeah, I think he did.
Between that and the whole the world doesn't deserve it, I feel like that's the connection.
He said it when old Claudia walked in. She goes, look at the same color like my daughter.
Exactly. So I feel like, you know, between those 2 pieces of proof, I feel like that all but confirms in Egon's eyes, oh shit, that was Claudia.
Well, maybe because he doesn't go.
But at the same time, he's not really grasping time travel either. But he's thinking like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of like if right now you showed me that it's like, oh, time travel doesn't exist, so it's just whatever. It's deja vu. It's fucking crazy.
But I feel like to him deep down, that's gonna be like a seed in his brain. Like that's way more than deja vu.
But the thing is, this never ash. It doesn't ash until later on. He's doing other shit. He becomes old and gets cancer. He doesn't really start doing that until now with Ulrich.
I mean, that's assuming that everything is happening the way it's always supposed to happen. So, but that whole shit was crazy. And then the fact that like 87 Claudia uses the time machine and goes back and goes to 2020 and ends up seeing her daughter with cancer. I'm sure that's fucking really
hard for her on both
sides. So because she just found out her dad has cancer,
and then
so she's probably wondering, shit, am I gonna end up getting cancer too? What the fuck?
Yeah. Well,
and we still don't even know if like Claudia ever ended up getting cancer. We just know she grows to be old. I thought when she was saying goodbye that she knew she was gonna die. I thought it was either gonna be Noah kills her or that she had cancer too.
And I knew that had something to do with that newspaper thing that she gave Agnes, and she gave it to her. Agnes looked at her, she's like, today.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you still have time, and then that's initially.
And we didn't know, because you're like, yeah, could he, does it mean today that she has to give it to young Claudia, or does it mean today, like, something happened to Claudia?
Yeah, so that poses the question, at what point does Agnes give younger Claudia that article? Because I feel like, because if she gives it to her when she's a little girl, that's crazy to fight that Claudia knew her entire life that was that moment she's going to die.
I don't think she does. I think that she's too young right now. She wouldn't grasp it.
And also, if she told her that then when old Claudia was in Claudia's office in '87, she would have recognized her without her having to say anything.
So that means Agnes probably has to pop up again. Because I feel like, to your point, like when her old self showed up, she would recognize her, like you said, she already had the newspaper. So Agnes has to still be around somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she has to give it to her at some point in time.
So she's probably.
Or she doesn't give it to her at all. It's got to be one or the other. But she has to give it to her all the way how old Claudia knows when she's going to die.
She has to give it to her.
Yeah, so I feel like at some point she definitely has to give it to her. Okay, so, and then now, like, as far as like the ending. We saw some shit, and I don't know, again, spaghetti at the wall, maybe it's going to go down the same nothing burger that Bartosz did.
I had something on the tip of my tongue, and I didn't want to say it at first, so I waited. Ember's like, wait, let me just figure it out. So it was off camera. And then Ember said the same name that I thought. And again, the logistics don't make any fucking sense.
Because maybe it's because we haven't gotten to that point, but I'm feeling like Adam, maybe Egon. Which is crazy as fuck, because I'm thinking like, Adam's the head of the snake. He's the one that's manipulating Noah,
Yeah.
And controlling and wants the apocalypse to happen, which means that he wanted Claudia to die.
Yeah.
So it's like, what led him down this path if that is in fact who he is?
And the reason why I think that is like when I'm looking at that last final shot where Adam turns his head, it's like the same raspy old voice, the same like.
He almost sounds like a lazy eye. I think it's in his right eye.
Yeah, like a lazy eye in the bags, and then he looks at Claudia's
Picture of Claudia.
Like a child picture.
Yeah.
Like the way it's like foreshadowing. The way like,
but the same thing he says, like, you know, they get what they deserve. Everyone gets what they deserve.
Yeah, what they deserve. But the way his voice and the way like. I don't know.
It's his lips. He had like these Homer Simpson lips.
Yeah,
like they're puffy lips.
Yeah, when he gets done finishing a sentence. And it's like the same way that fucking
yeah.
Like, but the logistics don't make sense as far as like.
Because that means that one, he would have to survive his cancer. And two, something would have to send him on this dark path where he wants his
super dark.
Yeah, where he wants the world to end, including his daughter dead.
That's the
and
thing.
you see the relationship he has with Claudia, so it's like, what leads him down this path? The only thing I can think of as far as like,
what makes him kill the whole world? Like what? Like his heart would seem like he would want to go back and fix it, not destroy it.
Right, but that would lead me to believe at some point in time he gets his hands on a time machine and he starts going time traveling and he finds out what happens because he has to know more than Noah knows, and Noah knows a lot of shit, but he's getting his information. Like when I'm saying, I feel like he's getting his information from Adam.
The only way that he does that is if that is in fact Egon, is Adam has to visit Egon.
I mean, I feel like, yeah, it's one of those things where he has to visit his younger self and tell him what's about to go down.
Tell him, like, you have to do this, you'll beat cancer, you'll beat this. But then you gotta try to convince him that your daughter's gonna get shot and you're pretty much gonna put the hit out on her.
And that leads me, because the thing about, like, how do you get all the scarring, which we're assuming, we don't know for sure, we're assuming it's from radiation. So the only thing I can think of is he's there for the apocalypse, he somehow is there when the planet explodes and survives it, and just like, gets exposed to heavy doses of radiation. Or he starts time traveling because we know how radioactive both the tunnel is and what we assume that dark portal.
And if he's traveling, he already travels to a point in the future where they have a cure.
Yeah, or he ends up going to the future, and sometime in the apocalypse future, there's still medicine available, there's still technology where they have.
He was to say that he didn't drive somewhere out of Wyndham. Like, go in the future. Obviously, Wyndham's an apocalypse. You're not gonna go there, but go over here. There's a hospital. They have a cure. It'll cure your cancer, and then you go back in time all the way.
So that means that somebody relaying that information to
Adam.
So like, how deep does the rabbit hole go? Who does Adam answer to? Who is the person that Adam answers to?
The arc is crazy on two different levels, and not just his character as like. So I feel bad for Egon. I think he's a good guy too. I mean, there's some shit.
It seems like he's just been dealt a shitty hand. He's been trying to solve this like puzzle, and no one's giving him the right answer, so he's trying to figure that shit out on his own.
So Egon's really Adam. The thing is, all the other arc is too like if he, like you said, he's the all-knowing. Right now, we consider him the head of the snake, and he knows all the stuff. But right now, you look at Egon, he's so
clueless. So that would be a crazy ass arc for him being like not knowing anything to knowing everything,
and being the villain.
And then being the villain. So like the writing of the law, they end up pulling it off. I'm like, holy shit.
And then if it is Egon, who's Noah at the question too, because that goes back to what we think Bartosz said. He's like, why did he choose you, and why did he choose to call you Noah? Which means Noah's not his real fucking name.
Exactly. So.
Which means because Adam's not really Adam's real name.
I mean, I can see like a couple things that'll make him turn dark. One, his wife leaves him, of course. Two, I'm thinking that maybe he has some kind of resentment towards Claudia for not telling him that he's gonna die and that his wife's gonna leave him. Plus, Claudia was encouraging Agnes to continue that relationship with his wife. So I can see that being, but enough to kill your own daughter? Like that's okay. That's not to be pissed off, but really, like.
In a way, I don't know how he feels about Ulrich. I mean, I guess he wouldn't give a shit. Like, he's not gonna go do the whole apocalypse for Ulrich.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that. But
so I think it might be. I don't know. That's the thing. There's too many. There's not enough evidence.
Because you see, like the very end scene, he's looking at the wall, and you have a family picture of all four families: the Conwalds, the Tiedemans, the Nielsen's, and the Dopplers. So he knows all of them. He has a specific picture just for Claudia, and that's the last shot of the episode.
Yeah, there's also specific pictures too of.
On the right, there's a picture of Tronti. There's a girl that's underneath him. I'm not sure exactly.
That might have been Claudia, and then the top one is I think young Noah. Maybe I have to go back and look. But.
Yeah, so I mean, there's still a long path to get to that point. But if that is him, I'm gonna be like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Because I feel with casting, nothing is on accident.
Yeah,
there's not gonna be somebody identical to this character and have it not be.
Unless the writers are like, you know what, Egon's character fits perfect for Adam. Like the villain will everything. We'll just cast him. We'll put a bunch of makeup on him. People won't know the difference if they ask. Same actor, two different characters.
And also, we got to talk about the missing pages out of the books. We kind of brought it up in the discussion in the beginning on who took the pages. So it's almost confirmed that it was Claudia.
She took them.
That had the pages. And
or
I'm guessing
Agnes took them maybe and gave them to Claudia. No. Agnes is close to the cult. I don't think they let Claudia in the cult, or they could have.
But that would lead me to believe that it was Adam that gave Noah that book. But at some point, someone would have to have known about that book and say, look, these pages are crucial. we need to take them. So maybe, are they keeping them? I think like they're keeping them from Noah because Adam probably knows what's in those pages, but that would explain why he wants the pages back. Because it seems like pretty adamant, like you gotta get, like pretty much you gotta get those missing pages.
Yeah, was he the
And that's
one
that would explain what Claudia's public enemy number one.
Adam, if Adam wrote it down, like you're an idiot. Like why don't you make a copy of them, or you're in the future, bro? Put it on a thumb drive.
I mean, who the fuck knows what technology is even available there? But the way Noah was shook, because I feel like at this point, you know, Claudia pretty much goes to her demise. She knows she's gonna get shot in that very moment by Noah, and she has the pages on her. And the way Noah looks at them, he's fucking the most shook I've ever seen in this entire show.
Charlotte.
And he says Charlotte, which kind of leads me to believe, is that the only bombshell that was in there was about Charlotte, or was there something about Adam being someone else, or Adam being Egon?
And then Noah's like,
because he keeps the information from Adam, which leads me to believe that Adam maybe isn't all-knowing because he would have known that Noah was lying when he asked him about it.
Yep, or he does know he's lying and he just...
Or he's just playing and putting on a run. But the fact that he says Charlotte, what does that mean? Like, what kind of bombshell info can he find out about Charlotte to make him shake like that to his core? I'm thinking, because we don't know Charlotte's parents, right?
Yep.
We're assuming that the girl with the scar on her face is her mom.
Yep.
And that's Townhouse's daughter. So
yep.
What if Noah could very well be the father?
Yeah, young Noah.
So I feel like none of these theories are full on proven.
Yeah.
But I feel like the writing's on the wall, and if they can make it make sense, I'll be like, wow, bravo.
Yeah, that's the thing, is just putting the logistics together. But yeah.
Probably one of the most dense episodes in terms of like bombshells and information I think we've seen to date.
Yeah.
But yeah, final thoughts, Glacier?
Yeah, final thoughts, like, episode was already dense enough. I think what made it crazy is that me and Ember, without saying, thought Adam looked like Egon, and I kind of like just threw like, I was like, fuck, do we really want to go down this rabbit hole when we talk about
like, what does that mean? How does that work? What the fuck?
I guess we could throw it off, because then you guys could be laughing your ass off, because we could be really wrong or we could be really right. Who knows? But Dragon certified.
Yeah, but I feel like we're based on good enough evidence that we have to date to make that claim. So I'm still calm. I'm not saying like a crazy person.
Yeah, as far as visually, yeah, not.
And we don't have evidence of like his MO will turn
like,
dark.
I can see him time traveling. I can build evidence there because he's starting to figure out all this shit like older from the future. But him not only time traveling, but becoming like one of the darkest villain on the show,
the main villain, if you will. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I love this fucking show. Dragon Certified fucking did it. There you have it, guys. Another one in the book. The real question, of course, what did you guys think in there in Dragon Land? Again, how are we doing on the theories? I'm sure you guys are enjoying it, whether we're right on the money or so far off it's not even funny. Bars. But yeah, what do you guys think? Any other Easter eggs or any information that we should know that would help us out? Yeah, any thoughts? Let us have it below.
Leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, join the Dragon Squad, and remember, it doesn't matter if you're up to 5 Squad or the Ice Squad. At the end of the day, when you're a dragon, you're a dragon. That's the end of the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We are Reaction Dragons. I am Ember, the Blaze,
and I'm Glacier, the Iceborn.
And until next time, we'll see you next time.